Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Bible Study with Sandy and the Holy Spirit. Thank you for joining me on the very last episode of Isaiah chapter 54. Today we will be going from verse 11 all the way up to verse 17. So without further ado, let's get right into the word. Verse 11 says, "O afflicted one, storm-tossed and not comforted, behold, I will set your stones in antimony and lay your foundations with sapphires. I will make your pinnacles of agate, your gates of carbuncle, and all your wall of precious stones." I will just pause here so we can really take these two verses in. So if we look at verse 11, it gives us a clear picture of the state in which the Israelites would be at the time that they will need to hear these words. Remember, this was written about 150 years before the people of God would need to hear this. Intentionality. Our God is intentional. So it says, afflicted one, storm-tossed and not comforted. When I read storm-tossed, I think of a ship that is at sea. And the kind of ship I'm thinking of is those old ships, the ones that were made out of wood. And when there was a ship wreckage, it was truly a wreckage because it would literally fall apart, Wood will be drifting away in all directions, and that's what comes to mind. And I compare that to ourselves now in these days when we are really in the trenches of our situations, when things are so bad, we are wrecked emotionally, mentally, we are just spiritually in a really bad place. God says, I see your pain and I am here to restore you. But look at the kind of restoration. He is not saying, oh, I see your pain, I'm just going to slap a band-aid on your wound and you will get better. Remember, our God is a God of above and beyond. He says, I will rebuild you literally with precious stones. Well, not literally, but yeah, it says that he will rebuild us. He says, I will set your stones in antimony and lay your foundations with sapphires. When I look at these two verses, and I think there was a time I tried to Google it, I have to try that again, but I saw it more of as a temple that is being rebuilt with all these precious stones, and it is so colorful and beautiful. And then I think to say, our bodies, we are literally a temple of God, and God says he will rebuild us with all these precious stones, and we will be beautiful and much better than we were before. Okay, and then moving on to verse 13, that says, all your children shall be taught by the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. Here God is telling us that, listen, you don't have to worry about your children either. I am not stopping this restoration at you. I am taking it a step further to your children and the future generations of your bloodline. Because honestly, I'll give myself as an example. When I went through some really troubling things, one of my biggest concerns was, how would this affect my child and the future generations to come? Generational curses are a real thing. Generational trauma is a real thing. But God says, that's not an issue with me. I will teach your children and they shall dwell in peace. Basically telling us that you are covered in all directions. You don't have to worry about a thing. And it doesn't end there. Let's move on to verse 14, which says, in righteousness you shall be established. You shall be far from oppression, for you shall not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near you. When I tell you every verse in these last verses of Isaiah chapter 4 are mic drop verses, it's just that I'll keep dropping the mic. That's why I'm not doing it. But listen, God is saying, you shall be far from oppression. No longer shall you be oppressed. You shall not fear. Terror will not come near you. So not only is God promising restoration, not only is it personal restoration, but it is generational restoration and peace. He is also promising protection, telling you you will not be oppressed and you will not fear. Terror shall not come near you. It doesn't end there. Let's move on to the next one, which says, if anyone stirs up strife, it is not from me. Whoever stirs up strife with you shall fall because of you. Yo guys, this is a good reminder in our day-to-day lives, because we cannot go through life without having some sort of conflict with one person or the other. But sometimes there's those people who just come to stir up strife in our lives, even where it's not necessary. They just seem to be allergic to peace for some reason. God is telling you that anyone who stirs up strife in your life is not from me. Remember, God is a God of peace and not a God of strife or conflict. But then he says, even if they come, they will fall because of you. Why? Because God is on your side. He stands for you. Who can be against you? My goodness. Okay, we go now to the finale, the big bang of this chapter, which is verse 16 and 17. It says, behold, I have created the smith who blows the fire of coals and produces a weapon for its purpose. I have also created the ravager to destroy. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Before I even explain anything here, I want us to understand one thing, that the things that I am about to explain, always remember that this is your heritage from the Lord. As a servant of God, as a child of God, this is your heritage and your vindication from Him. So walk away from this study comforted and confident. Okay? Now, he reminds us of one thing. He says, that enemy that you are facing, who created him? Let's even talk about the boss of bosses of darkness, Satan himself. Who created him? When he was an angel, perfect in so many ways, and pride got a hold of him that he fell. Who created him? God. So God is saying, why are you scared of the creation when the Creator is on your side? There is nothing on this earth or in the heavens or below that can catch God by surprise. He created all things. He knows everything. So he says, do not fear the creation. Me, the Creator, I am on your side and I am protecting you. And this is your heritage from me. And therefore, that's why he can boldly say that no weapon fashioned against you shall succeed. And he takes it a step further to say that every tongue that rises up against you in judgment, you shall refute it. In other translations, it says, I paraphrase, it says that anyone who rises up against you to accuse you, they shall be proven wrong. So when you go through life and you have all these accusations and lies and slander that is being thrown at you, just say that it shall be refuted, they shall be proven wrong, because that is your vindication from God. He promised it to you in Isaiah 54 verse 17. So just be still and know that He is God. You know, God just wants us to relax and to focus on Him while He does the rest. Why we decide to take matters into our own hands and strive, I don't know. But God just wants to love on us. He just wants to protect us. He wants to heal us. He wants to restore us. And not only us, but even the future generations coming from our bloodlines. All we have to do is be still and know that He is God, is to trust in Him and acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He shall make our path straight. So I hope you walk away from today's episode feeling confident, feeling comforted, feeling hopeful. God is waiting on you. If you have strayed, now is the time to come back to Him. So, as always, as I come to the end of this video, if you feel a stirring in your heart to give your life back to Jesus, or to give it to Him for the first time, there is a salvation prayer that will play at the end of this video. And if you just say that prayer, congratulations! You are now a part of God's family. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!